Hello, this is Vance, and this is Thursday, August the 28th, 2014. These are the CL trades for today using the slow hand method for price action. Well, we started out as being a kind of an up day, and the overnight low was 94.14. Pardon me, 93.45. Overnight high was 94.14, and this was just before the open. We went into this tight trading range, and I was talking to actually doing a bit of a live session and answering some questions and doing some other things, and I was looking and I missed this opening right here. And what I really wanted to do was, I had my 15 tick stop below these bars, and I was looking to get a good order in to limit in because I thought that we were going to be a measured move, and I missed it. And by the time I looked at it, it was up here, so I missed this trade. It was kind of a bummer. But we had price moved up here. You can see the first pullback, second pullback. I was a little skeptical going long here at the close of this bar right up here, so it was more like a limit order, and because I wanted my stop to be below this bar, and it wouldn't on the close of this bar wouldn't facilitate that. But as you can see, when it kind of firmed up and moved up there, you could see almost right to the tick where price went as far as this extension was concerned. When it got to this height, it was a bit of an exhaustion and really went into sideways. No real place to get in here because after a strong move like this, you think maybe it'll go a bit higher. Remember, we're still at a fairly low rate, so we had this. This tight trading range. We see prices broke up here, failed, kind of tried to get up here. So we're really in the tight trading range. When prices are going sideways like this, you don't know whether it's going to go up, or it's going to go down. But once I establish this bar down here and this channel, and it's really a loose channel because it's not really well defined. It's almost like a slow, tight trading range channel, let's say. So you see price came up here a couple times, came down here, tested. But when it came down here and tested, this is a second entry. This is not a second entry long, but it just became a turnaround based on the fact that we had some capitulation down here. It really was like a failed second entry short that turned into second entry long. But more importantly, I just marked this trade that you could have taken this one. I mean, it's pretty aggressive, but again, it looks like what I mean by second entry, we had really a pullback down to here. Pulls back again. So there's really kind of like two failures. Don't look too hard at this bar right here where it breaks through. But a bit of a turnaround pattern, marked in green anyways. If you're looking at buying something here, you have to buy in low. The idea is that this may have been the bottom of the trading range and just overshot by a bit, so just fading this. That's why it's kind of aggressive. Price come back up to here. Now we have a second entry short right on this bar. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. This is a second entry short right on this doji that closed almost on its low. Price makes a new high. First entry failed. Second entry short. You've got this bar out here. It's really against this other channel because this other channel, I didn't have this one in here. But if you look at it from the perspective of saying this channel is down like this, you might continue to move out. Now, again, it's a pretty aggressive trade. Now the bottom is here. It doesn't afford you a total 15 ticks to get to this bottom. Oops, let me get this thing here. Doesn't give you the full 15 ticks, but it's give you some room to the bottoms, and in case it's going to fail, it's going to continue to go down. And you can see that it kind of pulled back here. We had this pullback, and then so it's like a breakout pullback short off this, and that's really what it really amounted to. Now, you don't know that's going to fail like this. I mean, this was a pretty rapid failure, but as you can see, when it gets to this bottom, it doubles down here, and it's really at the highs of yesterday afternoon. So if you look at right across here, so it looked like what was formerly resistance now perhaps acting as support. Now, this is a second entry long from here. Price makes new high. This is your first entry, second entry long right down here. But whether or not that really holds, it's really hard to. That's why I marked this thing in magenta like this. You take a trade like this, it's maybe overly aggressive, and you don't know whether it's going to be heading up that way. I mean, even when you put your stop down here, there's really nothing underneath it. So that's why I marked it. It's something to keep in mind. But had you taken it, I mean, it did work out quite well. Once you establish this trend channel, here's a breakout pullback long. Now it's at the top of this channel. Again, another strong bar, but another green trade, so to speak. But the point I'm trying to let you look at is that we've had this move up, just like maybe just a retracement, and that maybe we're going to go move up higher. But this is an awfully strong move, so it's a breakout pullback and long. And looking at by this time, once you establish this, it looks like we may test the highs, which in fact it did. So it tested the high of the day and then fell off. Now, when price comes down to here, and this is just after 11 o'clock, we have a move down. It breaks the trend channel. This is the first break, pulls back, second break to a new low. Now, in this is your first entry down here. Okay, pulls back. So this is really like a second entry or two pull downs or two pullbacks to the support. Again, I marked this, and it's really a difficult one because where's your top of your channel is right here. Let's say the double top's right here. Unless you get in, unless you limit in, it doesn't afford you this target. Now, at this juncture, don't really know if it's going to be heading up or if it's going to continue on, or maybe we're going to spike in channel. It's going to fail out. So that's where we've already tested this high. It's come back here. It may start moving down, so that's a challenging trade. I mean, that's why I marked it in purple. There's really no place to get in unless you get in low, and it would have worked out. But in my opinion, it's just really a little bit too risky. I didn't like it from that perspective. Again, tight price comes up here. This is a second entry short. New low, first entry, second entry. You do have some hesitation. It also looks like maybe it was two moves up off of this. Pulls back here, and we had to move up to exhaustion. So you have the two moves in this area. Again, if you put your stop in there and you limit in, you're above these bars here. So that's why. But it is an aggressive trade, no question about it. I mean, price comes up here, you have to limit in on this one as well. But you're thinking that this is the top of the channel because it's revisited twice. And if it's going to fail, you can see it failed down to here, at least to give you your 15 ticks. Not a lot of room, right to the bottoms. I mean, 15 ticks is right to the bottom. It did go a little further. That's a pretty aggressive trade. But when it gets down to here, look at this overlap. This overlap here, I mean, again, this is a second entry short, a second entry long off of this one. New high, first entry, second entry, right to here. But with all this overlap, you can see that there's really capitulation here, and you can see this pretty wide swing. If you, again, limit in here, you might be all right, especially off of this completion in this bar. Certainly maybe not here, because if you took it right here, the second entry, you took a lot of heat. Like 14 ticks of heat. I've got this established here, this trend channel here, and whether it's going to hold or not, we don't know. It's pretty late in the day, later in the day, it was afternoon, I mean. It does move up, and then we just kind of go into spiking channel. Again, another kind of slow move up. If you're going to buy, you try to buy at these bottoms. You're going to sell, try to sell at the tops. But again, a very tight trading range. So we had a lot of this. This is pretty, you can see from here, from basically 11 o'clock all the way for the rest of the day, really difficult to trade this kind of stuff. I mean, to buy low and sell high sort of thing, or sell high and buy low. It's just, you're looking at these double tops. I mean, you do see the double tops, you do see these pullbacks, but because it didn't go really deep, there's not a lot of cushion and a lot of room. I'm not saying that you can't take these trades. I mean, but that's a real aggressive stance. So you have to put your orders down here and just kind of wait for them to come back, for the price to come back to you before you go up. Before you have to wait for price to come back to you, whether it's sell at the tops or buy at the bottoms. Anyway, that's it for now. Still kicking myself over this trade here, missing that one. But that's the way it is. But I had not bad today. I was a couple things that I got in there, kind of aggressive trading, but I got in a couple of these trades and I did all right. So, but that was later in the day, and I wasn't around at. I had to take off around noon or so I wasn't here for for the entire day. But was not bad. Hope you had a good day. If there's a problem, there's always tomorrow. You can always get it back tomorrow. So don't lose faith. Keep at it. Anyway, that's Vance. This is Slime Method for Price Action. Bye for now.